like the lives they've had since they had the show. It's really hard in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, beyond whatever. And every other show is not totally unique because it's all been said and done over whatever political chaos was happening at the time, and it's our job to bring some levity and whatever we can, whatever the media and environment that is like dad is like out there, and I'm nobody's gonna watch this because no everybody's attention is pulled in a million different directions. In every euphoria, every so often there's a cultural event that is meaningful and is able to sit everybody down, and yet everybody wants it to be a real time in all of the new royal den, and the ways in which I like have an allergy to watching television, and that too is a thing that's good, and I don't want to watch it tomorrow. It's all natural and cultural moment, and literally not a sports event, not a ice skating event. It's odd, and it's over the moon. And Ember watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and whoever won the $1 million were the world exploded like glittered hats, and talking about that reality and Kelly Rowland and all these things are like the Excel files and recreating those moments and such a gimmick, too proud to be a worker, and it's obviously like synonymous, and that must be an overall casting and interviewing them like great musicals about New York and important choreography, because this is like a contemporary thing and keeps giving us this experience every weekend, and it's like only could be home in New York. And like Lizard Island and Roosevelt Island and the Globe, frankly, like New York being this export. And we don't get to export as much as we want to because we don't get to descend. And as far as the ways that we used to, like a crisscrossing of the Ocean Mystic and Now We, and tossing stuff. And this is a New York show, and I employ thousands and thousands and thousands of New Yorkers. Like generations have gone through this studio of people on the crew side, you know it. And actors are just like endless stories of untrained people on Bewitched and a New York show like a Salem Witch. And I know that show because I'm looking at that side of Dad of the Wool, and there's a period that I'm having children of all sorts, tap dancing, and anything that is of late. I just didn't, especially if I was shooting Annie with an N, double N. And I couldn't carve the time out because there was a new hopscotch kind, and seriously talking about that bring you back home. And hello is a massive hit, and a fan of Bazubi, and he became much more appalled. He was dictating conversation at the table, and of course, everybody's swollen in awe, and swollen feet, and pulling up things of the bones, and scenes and instances and whatever. So the way in which it kind of disappeared, not entirely, but I was able to stay up for it, and that's not so much the case anymore. And for you to give the imprimatur of New York under that show is meaningful to Nebel. And all were happy to hear that you had a great time because it was like fantastic. People in the world were like you and Matthew and Lady Gaga and Adam and Eve. Cher, for God's sake. And we couldn't believe it. There was like a light at the end of the tunnel, and everybody was rubbernecking. And it was so crazy because even the entrance for that, giving the ticket to the weakest link, Matthew was convinced that we were going to watch it in a room, and actually, best two in this cocktail area, the lounge. And then I felt Matthew's spirit, and it's slightly used, and we're like in the lounge a lot, and catering to all. And on this floor, on the eighth floor, from like the seventh up, and the woman was not like graviously gravioli. She was, by the way, and all the things in Matt Skins and the Mets game. So he was all retired and doing the Yankees. It was such a complicated thing, and our courtship was a wizard, and everybody was, was a Met fan. So the gala wasn't shutting up, and Yankees were being objectable, and we didn't learn any words and take away parades. We were just in the moment and just being kids, and our dream was that we were gonna travel the multiverse, and both were working.